evening, everyone, and welcome to the Club Racing UK podcast, episode something of the third series. I've lost count and don't care now.
Seven.
Oh, it's episode 7. Thank you, Stefan. Already,
right.
The comments are flying in. It's been quite a popular one, gents. We have been pushing the advertising out for this one. And what we have this evening, boys and girls, is a tale of two seasons, both from a competitor's side, a very successful one, and from an organisational side, as a very successful one as well. So we're expecting a jam-packed show. Let's dive into it. So to start off, we've got to start off with our host. I'm your host, Robert Lewis. And with me, as usual, is the he's kind of got a beard back, but he still looks like a
coming back. It's coming back.
You still look like you should be on a register, Nick Holmes. And Stefan Marsh joins us. Good evening, gents.
Evening.
Thank you, Nick. Love you. Anyway.
Bastard.
Joining us
there's no pleasing you, is there? There's no pleasing you.
No, piss off. Anyway, joining us this evening are Robin and Tom of the C1 Racing Club to tell us all about their successful first season in charge. And we've got Merv Beckett who joins us to give us the civic reception, as it would seem, or something like that, Merv. Good evening, guys.
Evening. How's it going?
Superb. Well, we've got a bit of a packed show, so I'll be honest, guys. We're going to jump right in with the news roundup.
Right.
From Mr. Andrew Butcher, and it's Andrew we're going to talk about first, actually, or rather Andrew and Dawn Boyd, because everyone at Club Racing UK and the racing community wants to absolutely fabulous news. They only went and got engaged yesterday, didn't they?
Hey.
Happy engagement, guys. It was Dawn's 50th as well. Congrats. She had a nice day out at Thruxton, and Andrew decided to get down on his knee and pop the question. It did take him a while to get back up again, but he got there in the end.
Love it.
We love you. Nice cheeky comment, Andrew. We wish you guys all the best, and I'll expect the invite in the post. Right, let's get to some of the comments.
Let's make a proper shindig of it.
A proper Club Racing shindig.
Rob,
Jeremy K.
can I
Evans.
just
yes.
quick one? I never thought I'd say it, but can you turn a light on or something? I can't see your beautiful face very well.
Seriously, I've got a light on up here and a white screen. Unfortunately, mate, that's the best you're going to get.
Maybe mine's just too good today in my new surroundings.
I like your Wi-Fi.
It could be, mate. Oh, yeah. Nick and his dodgy Wi-Fi. Right, let's work through some of the comments. We've got a lot of people joining us this evening. Jeremy Evans joins us this evening. Good evening, Jeremy. Vicky Pratt, All Square Rapid Ride, one half of joins us. Mark Watts, Matt Cleary. Hi, Matt. Good to see you at Snetterton finally and meet you. Jason Stone, Shine Automotive. Are you ready to rock and roll, Stefan?
Always.
The first of the Facebook users has joined us. Hi, Tom and Robin. If you are on the paddock, if you are on the paddock or watching this from the paddock, you could do one of two things. Either enable yourself to be seen by StreamYard. There is a link on the bio there or whatever. Or get yourself over onto the Club Racing UK page. We'll be able to actually see who you are.
Or just write your name in the comment.
Or write your name in the comments. All that. Carl Barton, ready. Just got a work call. Still on, so on pause. We'll catch up. Okay, fair enough. Matt Cleary, is Rob on a boat making me feel sick bouncing around? It's probably my table, to be fair. It's moving the monitor. Vicky Pratt, the other one is here also. That's not a very nice way to talk about Chris.
Evening, Chris.
Evening.
Good
and
evening, guys.
We've got more Facebook users. The MG Owners Club is where it's at. We'll assume we'll call you someone. That's what we'll call you. Refer to you as someone. Right. Now we're
Mr. MG.
Mr. MG, we'll call you that. Now we're only into October, and already the first load of calendars are starting to filter through. Britcar released theirs. Obviously, the big line through, so they're not going to Brands Hatch in July.
Already with the cancelled on.
Already with a cancelled one. That is issue 2. I expect it to get to issue 60, 61. The nice organised way that that Club Racing goes. And I'll be honest, I salivated when I saw this calendar today because the Modified Fords, in conjunction with the BRSCC, have released this calendar. They're going to Silverstone International, Brands Hatch on April 9th. They're going up to Knock Hill in May. They're supporting, or rather, the British GT are supporting them at Donington Park on the Grand Prix circuit in May.
That's more like it.
Snet 300s in July, Cadwell in August, and then another 2 rounds at Brands, one of which supported Full Power Live. So we look forward to seeing that series grow even better than it has.
I'll be out with those boys next year in my Mark II as well.
Fantastic.
Man.
Good to see.
Good man.
Good to see, mate. I mean, I was watching some of the live stream racing this weekend. They had 3 races on at Snetterton, and it was just superb. A special shout out to Alex Bohm as well. He had a really good run out on his Fiesta, especially when conditions got a bit wet. Jonathan Candler joins us this evening, and congratulations as well, because he's joining us as a champion.
He is. Congratulations, mate.
Only gone and joined the Armed Forces Race Challenge Roll of Honour. Well done, mate. Congratulations. We'll possibly get you on the show in the future to talk all things motorsport as well. Right, Hen Sharp, Young Driver Initiative in the MG Owners Club Race Championship. If you're under 21, you get half-price race entries. That's very good. I like that.
That's really good.
Yes, I can get half-price race entries. Woo.
You're not under 21. You look like a man, baby. I'm not going to stop using that, Nick. I'm sorry. Until you grow a full beard back, you are going to get it. And
You got beard envy of Tom.
Yes, I have. And anyone with a beard, I got beard envy of.
You just sort of look at him and go, "You bastard."
Bastard.
Right, I'm going to start off with the positive side of the TDC Snetterton weekend, Stefan. So you better start us off.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, well done.
Yay!
This is 2 things. One, it survived another race without breaking.
Yeah.
And we come second. So, happy days.
There we go. Well, Wetterton
very wet though.
Wetterton certainly lived up to his name, so much so the races got cancelled after we had our race.
It did, yeah. What do you want? Do you want a full walkthrough of the event of the day, or?
Yes.
All right. So qualifying went terrible for us. It was bone dry for qualifying. And for some reason, we completely messed the setup of the car, and we had so much understeer. It was ridiculous. I don't know where we qualified. I think it was 26th or something like that. It was very, very poor. Plus, getting out the old race book excuses. Neither me or Matt had driven around the 300 circuit before, so we had to learn it at the same time. So, just when you've driven it on computer games, and then you actually drive it, some of them corners are a lot tighter than what you expected them to be. So there was a few, I need to slow down a bit more. But anyhow, so yeah, absolutely poor in qualifying. But it was going to chuck it down. And then we had part Fairman, and we had to go on the dyno because we missed the last one because we broke. And it turned out we were 9 brake horsepower down on our last dyno, so we were also down on power. Another excuse in the book. So we went back. We knew it was going to rain. So to be fair, it started raining not long after we got back from qualifying. So it
certainly looked like it did.
It definitely rained. Chucked the wet setup on, and yeah, the car was absolutely mega. Loads of confidence, and went really well. So we managed to push up to P9 in the end, which was second in class. Matt got the safety car. We pit under a safety car, and Matt went back out, and then he got the single lap dash to get our second place. So happy days, I think. If you want, I'll bang the video on of our first lap. Do you want to see the whole lap, or are we just doing a bit of it?
I'll go first. Whole lap. Go whole lap. Go on.
Well, enjoy.
go.
I
Send
must say,
it.
though, that is the worst conditions I've ever driven in my life. And doing 110 down the back straight, and all you can see is white. Is pretty bad.
Looked amazing.
Don't-
I literally just wanted to be in that car. Not in the Mazda though.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That guy's just not happy.
I saw him pull into the assembly area, and I was like, "Mate, why? Why would you do that?"
No.
Just gets out like.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus. There was another guy in the Kate room as well, and I was like, "Oh my god, you picked
even
the wrong
worse.
day for this. Wrong day for
Yeah.
that."
I mean, to be honest, even stood in the pit lane just waiting to get in the car for your stint, we got soaked. Absolutely stoked. And appreciate the GT Cup guys, because they made sure before we turned up, the front shutters of every garage were closed.
Really?
That's nice of them.
So we literally had no shelter.
Garage to stay dry.
That's not right.
No.
So we were just like, yeah, cheers, guys. Appreciate that. So yeah, well done, Steph. I've got to be honest. Watching your first stint from the pit lane, it was absolutely astounding. I think at one point you overtook 2 or 3 cars round the outside into just after the bomb hole. Yes, Nick.
I do have one question. Did you forget to turn the focus on, Rob, from that start?
I wasn't in the car.
Oh, did AJ forget to turn the car on?
No, if you actually, if you go back and watch the onboard, he went from first to second to third to fourth, and he was spinning it all through the gears.
Oh shit!
And the one thing to remember as well, the one thing that a lot of people have forgotten, AJ's done time attack before. That was his first ever race start.
Oh wow, very different.
And so yeah, we'll go on to mine. So
you can't really see it from our onboard, but he was in my peripheral vision to the right hand side all the way through turn 1.
Yeah,
and then I managed to pull out and get in front of him. But
to be honest,
it look worse than it was from our camera.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, he had the same issue.
I'm only joking, boys. I'm only ribbing you. It's only fun.
It's all right. I mean,
don't calm down.
Yeah, no. Steph said as well. As soon as you gained a bit of speed, white. That was it. That's all I could see. And unfortunately, AJ, I don't think he was quite used to that. We had the steaming up issue before. He said there was a steaming up issue, but I could see through it fine. It was vision to another car in front of you. There was so much spray being kicked up.
Yeah. There was another lap that I kind of I can't remember what car I was behind, but I was behind it. I was gaining. I pulled out, got alongside it, and then couldn't see a damn thing. And I then lost because I'd moved into the middle of the track. I'd lost a gauge on the outside where I was going down the main straight and nearly completely missed the braking point and went straight on. But
yeah, sorry, I wasn't interrupting you, Steph. I'm just showing this photo just to show the amount of standing water. And same here with the Mini as well. It was absolutely outstanding.
Going into what's the second to last one, the long one?
Coram.
Going into Coram, obviously on my first lap, I was using the outside line off the racing line to get around the corner, a bit more grip. From that lap onwards, you had to use a racing line in the end because there was so much water on the outside that you were aquaplaning. So you had to go back to the racing line, which was slippery as. Yeah. But off the racing line was even worse. It was very strange. Yeah. But
I mean, it got to a point because when I got in the car, AJ did a superb first stint. Okay, he dropped some, but to be honest, I don't care because we actually finished the race for fucking.
Hey.
So we finished 6th in class. You know, we got a respectable result. AJ's first ever race completed, big tick, and I'm really proud of AJ. He did really well in those conditions. So big hats off to him. And then I got out in the car, and just as I was pulling out of the pit lane, the safety car switched on his lights, and I sat behind the safety car for all of my stint. Because to add, no, I didn't.
Oh
no,
you got
because I was in that train of 7 cars that got picked up. So we were sort of behind a lap. They let us through, but we had to go through in a procession, trying to catch everyone up. By the time it went green, they flew the checker out.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it didn't get a chance. But I don't care, to be honest. But this photo did get a bit popular in qualifying.
Can't park there, mate. Can't park there, mate.
Right there.
So we
Hang on, Rob. No. Wait there. I was going down the straight. Obviously, I was going down the main straight. This is in qualifying.
Yeah.
Coming up to turn 1, see the change of surface ahead flank or slippery surface ahead. I was like, oh, here we go. Where is he? Went round turn 1, wasn't there. Got to the hairpin. There he was facing me. I was like, well, there he is. Hi, Robert.
Oh, I love it. Just quickly, Rob, just put the picture up again.
Yeah.
Right. To everybody watching, comment something funny about this picture, and the funniest one is going to win a free sticker because it's just brilliant.
It is good. It is good. I mean, to be honest, the reason I didn't get going again was because we blew the fuse on the starter motor going up to assembly. I've got to replace the starter motor with the comms knackered on it. AJ blew the fuse on the starter motor, so I hit the button on the steering wheel, had nothing, so I couldn't start it up again just to get off the track. But the hose blew out the back of the thermostat, blew a hole in it, and just same as Brands Hatch, poured coolant onto the rear tyres. So I actually went into turn 1 sideways, braked for the hairpin and turned in and just watched my gauge slowly climb. Next thing you know, I've turned around and I'm facing the marshal's post. And a big shout out to Megan and Emma that were there. And the funny thing was, the first thing they said when she opened the door was, we wanted to meet you guys, but we didn't want to meet this way.
Love it.
So, yeah, we had that, but it was literally myself and AJ. So we got a new hose on it, thanks to Jay at Vehicle Tech Mobile. He had a spare hose in his van. So we got a loop hose in there, which is staying on the car. Got that all sorted, got out on the race. AJ started the car, was trying the best he could. I mean, like I said, look at the conditions. They're just absolutely atrocious for what we were racing in. Minnie did a superb first stint and got second in class, and we finished 6th in class and 22nd overall, which I'm not going to turn my nose up at that. So there we go.
If you finished and take it.
Exactly. Now, before we move on, we've got to give a bit of a safety warning here as well, and Stefan's got some explaining to do, because there is a reason you tie your gazebo down when you're in the paddock. And I'm told this was one of the reasons why the safety car was out for so long. Steph, would you care to explain?
Well, our gazebo ended up on the track. I mean, I was racing the car, so I don't know what happened. I'm guessing the wind got up, maybe, but no, I don't know. I don't know how it happened. It was tied down by 3 ratchet straps, so I don't know how it moved, but
it got up a fair fucking amount if it ended up there, and that's after they removed it from the track.
Yeah. But
Nick,
I'm so glad my gazebo is being looked after. You guys, you're off bloody racing, using half my gear.
Wait. My car had no use of that gazebo, so don't say anything to me. Look at Muggins over here.
I tied it down the best I could. I don't know what happened. Soz.
Don't know. Wouldn't be the first time the gazebo's fucked off, though, would it?
Yeah,
we haven't learned our lesson yet.
After a shit Alton Park, it ended up in a field somewhere.
That was the KA's one here, wasn't it? Right, let's go back to some comments. Dawn Boyd. Hi, guys. Thanks for the shout out. We had no idea you were going to say anything. Of course we were going to say something. We've got a keen eye, don't worry. Of course you were invited when we get round to it, and no, it didn't take him very long to get up again. In fact, he was so quick, photography nearly missed it. Well done again, guys. Well done again. The only thing I can think of is we'll have to do a live podcast at the reception.
Wait, that'd be a laugh.
That would be quite a laugh. Oscar Proietti, can the C1s do under 21 half price race entries, Rob?
No.
Not for them.
Not for Oscar, no.
Straight to the point.
Matt Cleary,
I
I
can
can vouch.
do more than one race a year with us.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Matt Cleary, I can vouch for that superb supercharger wine. Well worth it standing in the pissing rain watching with my lad. Well done. Thanks again for coming down, Matt. It was good to meet you and little man. Gave him a good show and follows the podcast from day one. Kester Cook's comment was so funny. If you get a chance, pop onto the Club Racing UK page. Look for that. Look for that photo. I'm not going to say what the comment was because I'll end up being reported for something, but it was quite amusing. I'm not going to lie, it was quite amusing. Dawn Boyd, pick comments. If you had B42 stickers on the back, we'd give you a push, but
Oh, yeah.
My bad. Sam Pierce, hello, love. Come here often. Do you know everywhere I go, a slippery surface flag follows, if you know what I mean?
That was a good one. I like that one.
I have a feeling this is going to be a fun one tonight, so don't forget, boys and girls, your best caption for this picture will win you a free Club Racing UK sticker, courtesy of Steph and the Unbearded One. Right. As well as TDC, I also had another day out. Funnily enough, with the chap that's just commented there, Mr. Sam Pierce. So Merv Beckett will know, I popped down to see the Civic Cup at Brands Hatch. And I'll be honest, it's firmed my opinion that it is one of the best one-make series in terms of progression and competitiveness in the UK. The racing was unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic to watch live. It was like watching a touring car race in peak touring cars. There was action all over the track. It wasn't overly aggressive. It was good, solid passing, good, proper racing. But the reason I was there for the day is our mate Sam Pierce finally got out in his Civic. Now, if you know anything about Sam, so there's Sam, Paul, Harvey, and I'm a member of a WhatsApp group. There's lots of people on there. We're called the Racers Lounge. But Sam, on his day job, looks after the commercial side for Northgate Vehicle Hire. He also, when he's not doing that, does Graves Motorsport JCW Minis. So he's the busiest bloke on the planet. And then when he gets time, he goes to his little lock-up garage and builds a Civic. And I'll tell you what, you could probably eat your dinner off the engine bay, the interior, and even underneath. The car's fucking immaculate. Absolutely immaculate. He did have some teething troubles. It was untested, and the only thing that was a bit of an uncertainty was the engine from the donor car. And unfortunately, during qualifying, he's still banging in the 56s with no power. 56s round Brands is still pushing it with absolutely no power and a blown head gasket. So Sam will be back next year, but it was a bloody good day out. Nicholas.
Merv, what lap times are you doing around there?
55s, I think, top 55s.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm in the production class rather than the actual Civic Cup. So, I mean, the Civic Cup, like Campy, he's doing like 54s.
I mean, the top guys were getting...
Nice. Fucking fast.
Yeah, the top guys were getting into late 53s. But Sam went out in practice and in qualifying, and you could see it going up the hill and on the exit of Graham Hill. As he went to pull away with the power, there was just nothing. Absolutely nothing, and a puff of smoke. And we seen they got it back, got two of the plugs out, and I think it was cylinder 3 and 4 had bugger all compression in it. So head gasket. He's since had the engine apart.
I didn't think Honda's failed.
Well, to be fair, there was a few that did that weekend. I was quite surprised.
I thought they just like revved to like 9 million RPM forever and ever and ever.
Yeah,
never broke.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. Actually,
it was very unfortunate. There we go.
It was very unfortunate.
Yeah. Sam Pierce, Camp set the lap record 53.5.
Jesus Christ, that's fast.
And you think those Civics are limited to 234? That's the maximum power output they're allowed. That is quick.
You look at it, was it touring cars? What, 48 seconds?
Yeah, TCR cars are like 51, 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not much, is it?
Yeah, I know. It was a great day. I'm really pleased for Sam.
KAs and C1s probably about 2 minutes. Just trying to give a balance of opinion here, guys.
There we go. And we'll find out next month what we can do around Brands Hatch. Although by the time me and Steph get there with our cars, it's going to be pissing down with rain.
So our car goes well in the wet, so put it on.
Fair play, why not? But yes, big shout out to Sam Pearce. It was a good day out. Thank you for having me along. And he will be back. Don't worry about that. We look forward to a solid season in Civic Cup next year for him. So, yes, Megan Edwards joins us this evening. Paul Harvey joins us this evening. And Megan was one of the saviours, but she's not in this picture as well. Don't forget, boys and girls, there is a caption competition this evening. So just remember, best caption for this photograph wins a Club Racing UK sticker. Let's see if any more comes in. Oh, no more captions coming in. However, Megan did say, good racing by Rob and Stefan at Snetterton. Neil Ashcroft has joined us this evening, and Sam comments he might fix the Civic and have to put it in Track Day Trophy in November. Who knows? Ooh.
Do it. Come do championship and race with these two monkeys.
Get it in for Snet for the last round of the Civic Cup.
There we go.
Get on with
Gauntlet's
it,
been thrown down, Sam. Get on it.
Stop messing around with minis and sort your own car up.
To be fair, I think the minis have got the finale coming up, haven't they? At Brands touring car finale. Is that next week?
Is it next week?
Next week or the week after?
No, week after, the same weekend as we're racing at Snet at the end of the month.
Ah, right. Okay, right. Just
quickly,
here we
go.
I'll go round the houses.
That'll be his excuse. I can't go to that.
Unfortunately, yeah, it clashes with JCW final.
See?
Just quickly, I know it's not Club Racing UK related, but who's going to win the touring cars? Steph.
Turkington.
Do you think?
I ain't got a fucking clue, mate, because I haven't been following it.
Fair enough. Nick.
I reckon Tim Harvey.
Fair enough. Tom.
I don't know any of them.
Fair enough.
Good man.
Fair enough.
You can tell we're all racing drivers, eh?
The problem is I've dropped Sky, so I can't record anything anymore, so I keep missing it. That's my excuse anyway.
It's not just that, right? I don't know about you guys, but this year I found myself turning off the touring cars. I'll watch the minis, both classes of minis. I'll watch a bit of the Porsches because it has got a bit juicy. But apart from that, I'm not watching much of the Toka package. I would prefer to either watch some old V8 races or watch some of the Club Racing live streaming. But that's just me.
Nick's been watching them at the race start, and then his Wi-Fi just cuts out. So
yeah.
I didn't even get that far. I was like, it's not even working.
Is that how the beard got clipped? You were watching the tutorial when the Wi-Fi skipped?
Yeah.
Fair
and ta-da, now you've got no beard. Oh, fuck.
No, you got no beard and you look like you're on a register. Right, just quickly, chaps. So this is going to be the last of the news, but there was a website. I don't know if you guys have had a look around the houses. There's a website that's popped up this week, clubracing24hour.co.uk or something of that. All it says is just register your interest in a Club Racing 24-hour race. Now, to me, that means run whatever you want in it. EP3s, Mazdas, you bloody name it. Right?
I'm going to bring a tank.
Well, no, exactly. How viable do you think that's going to be?
Not viable at all.
My van
you need a lot of I mean, if you're talking about taking your Focus and like our Mini and stuff, those types of cars, I don't think that'd be very viable. That's a lot of money.
Things like compact cut, Mazdas, those one-make things, they probably will be all right and will last. But Track Day Trophy, Track Day Championship, anything modified, they won't
talking about tyres. You've gone up into that kind of class where the tyres are going to be well expensive.
But surely if they're going to do it, they have to put a limit. That would be the easy limitation, just on everyone has to use a same tyre.
Yeah. Wouldn't be tempted to stick the EP3 in there, Merv?
It's so much involved in it. 24 hours. Probably the clutch will end up giving away before 24 hours. But it's all good fun, isn't it? But it depends if you've got enough fuel.
That's a good point.
Every 50 minutes.
That's a good point. Yeah, you're not filling it up every 50 minutes at the moment. People look at you funny.
Yeah.
Be a massive queue.
Has anyone been brave enough to get fuel for their lawnmower?
That'll be why it's a 24-hour race, boys. It's actually a 30-minute race, but 23 hours and 30 minutes of queuing up for fuel.
I mean, something good. 4 hours or something is, I think, quite good. But I mean, 24 hours is any of our normal race cars. It's difficult to.
Yeah, to be honest,
to get it to the last 40 minutes.
Yeah. And not just that, I mean, the 360 Motor Club was formed and they tried to sort of reform the spirit of the Wheel Hire 24 Hours by doing these 6-hour races at Snetterton. I think the most entries it attracted was 10. And that was open to any club racing car you could think of. So
the only way it would work is on the Beckett scale where you can relay it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good fun. I mean, I did that a few years ago. I mean, that is good fun. But I mean, it's cars, even my Civic, every half an hour you got to refill it, even if you fill it right up to the brim with fuel. So it makes it quite difficult. But I've done a few 45-minute races, like one at Castle Coombe, the Dave Allen Trophy.
Yeah.
That's a real good one to go for. But anything longer than that, it does get hard if it's on your own and one car. For the money anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know a good endurance series if anyone's interested.
That's a very good point. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got to point out this comment first before we move on to the C1 Club, because Sam's got a good point there. Out of those 10 entries at Snetterton, Nick asked 8 for a drive.
Look, guys, you don't ask, you don't get. Simple as that.
Liam Browning, evening, boys. Good evening, Liam. Nice of you to join us. We're only 35 minutes into the show, mate. 8 o'clock next time. Remember that. Samprini Racing, looking forward to a 24-hour KA race next season. And Liam says yes, the C1. Well, we don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know.
No. We don't know. Nothing confirmed yet.
Nothing confirmed. Well, maybe in the next episode there'll probably be no news. But anyway, so moving on to the C1 Racing Club. So now is your time to shine, boys. So
we do have a 24-hour race next year.
You do? Whereabouts?
We do. Silverstone GP.
Oh, that'd be wicked.
I bet that's lovely that time of year.
Do you know what you guys should do? You guys should definitely arrange for us to have a little drive in that.
Here he goes again.
9 out of 10.
You don't know, I shouldn't get. Okay. No, I think that's definitely. Well, especially now I found out you're all Southerners as well. We're going to definitely have to get together for a beer.
Yeah, we literally live on your doorstep.
Yeah.
Literally. To be honest, to be honest with you, Robin, I probably, if you saw me, I probably wouldn't fit in a C1. But I'll do you a deal. If you let Pinky and Perky drive in the C1, can I drive the safety car? Because that looks cool with a Silver Lake livery.
You can. It's a good car as well. It handles really well.
Cool. So if you let Pinky and Perky race, I'll drive the safety car for the race.
Deal.
Can we just do? Cool. Can we just do one other thing first, though?
What?
Can we at least try and get you in a C1? Please.
You'll fit. They're massive.
Really? Super.
Yeah, huge.
Well, I'm massive as well, so it'll work.
Easy.
Right, so the C1 Racing Club was obviously established a few years ago now. It's been run under the BARC, but this year saw it take new ownership with Robin and Tom. So, guys, take it away. How did it come about that you guys, well, first of all, you raced in it quite successfully, and you've now come to owning the club. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, so just to clarify, it's actually only myself that bought the club. Tom works with C1.
I just want Rob to build my race car for free, so I'm helping.
Yeah, I'm building Tom. I'm building Tom an EP3 powered Civic, so Merv will love that one. Sorry, an EP3 Clio.
Yeah, K20 Clio.
That's neither here nor there. But yeah, so I came about, obviously I've raced in it since 2017. I was actually proud enough to say that I put our car on pole for the first ever C1 race.
Yes.
Which was quite cool. And then the engine blew up on the second stint, and that wasn't very ideal, so it ended pretty quickly. But from then, we put a low mileage engine in, and our car was great, and we loved it, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. The opportunity came around. A select few of us. I was always working with the C1 club from a regulations point of view. As soon as I started racing C1s, I read the rules and I thought I can drive a bus through this. They're really open. There's loads of potential areas where you could gain quite an advantage. So rather than doing that, I emailed Philip and Carol and just said, look, here's my version of your regs. Took me a while to ride it, to be fair. And then I got a phone call from Carol and he said, wow, we need to have a meeting. So he did that and they took on my version of the rules. And I've been working with them ever since. And then it came available to market, so I was able to bid for it.
Nice.
And luckily won the bid, and yeah, so that's mine as a full-time job, so that's what we're doing now, full-time.
I'm not just
Now I've got a lovely picture here. So that's your car in front, SME on the front. So that is Team Sailor V, yes?
It is, yeah.
And I'm only doing this purely out of memory, no notes. Was it you, Chris Chadwick, James McIntyre,
Yeah.
And did you have a fourth driver?
Paul Dickinson.
That's it.
Yeah.
Every time you stuck it on pole, or you were up in the top 2, 3.
We were on pole every time.
Yeah.
That car's been every single race. That car's been on pole. We won one of the Rockingham 24 hours. We were winning the other one up to 23.5 hours when Drive Shaft broke. We were winning. Yeah, I don't. We were winning the 2019 Silverstone 24 hour by 2 laps until Chris Chadwick rolled it, but we're not allowed to talk about that.
Don't mention. Just cut that bit
out. So that was pretty harsh. And that car's still in the corner of my yard looking really sorry for itself. It's all full of water and the flock dash is all mouldy and it's just very sad.
Because we're focusing on the rest of it.
Yeah. The great thing I loved about C1 was myself, James, Chris and Paul, we all raced other stuff. But what I loved about it was when a 24-hour, well, even a 3-hour race, whenever these endurance races come about, you're racing on a weekend actually with your mates in the same car.
Yeah.
So rather than being spread around the country and having a chat about what you did, it's like, now we're actually all in the same car, we're all enjoying it. And it's really good for bragging rights as well, because if there's always that bit between your mates of who's actually the fastest, well, it just kind of settles it all straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good as well. You get the whole, with the endurance racing, it's the pit crew.
Yeah.
So people like me that aren't good at driving could just come and drink beer and, change wheels as fast as you can and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it. It's a team effort.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is though, isn't it? I mean, that's what appealed to us, wasn't it, when we went towards the KA route? It's the fact that we're all a bunch of mates that work together, or a bunch of mates that come along and help spanner with the cars, and then just a good grid of people all around you. It's a good laugh.
Yeah, exactly. And now that was the whole appeal of the club, was it's it's proper club racing. It's very friendly, and every team is like a big group of friends. So as Tom was saying, like Team Sailor V, there was 15 people for a 24-hour race to be the team of Team Sailor V.
Yeah.
And those 15 people had to do their job. And we worked out strategy-wise that it didn't really matter on the circuit, as long as you were within half a second, which is quite a big gap really, but as long as you were lapping within half a second every time, that was the easy bit. The hard bit was actually getting that car out of the pits within half a second every time. Driving a lap within half a second is actually very easy, but getting a pit stop done within half a second every time is actually really hard.
Now, Paul Harvey gets a point here about getting me in a C1. Getting in, fine. Getting out, not so much. You would need the world's biggest shoehorn. That's why I can't fit in a C1.
Yeah, but your mates just drag you out. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very good point. So previously, and this is down in my notes as well, so previously you've run all under BARC. Liam is asked a question I was going to ask next. So from next year, you're now running under the BRSCC. How comes that's the case? Dead
simple. Anyone who knows me knows my background with Paul McCurlin. We developed Compact Cup. I was in it from a technical perspective from day one. Again, I wrote the regs. I don't know if you've seen the Compact Cup rules, but I made the tech file. There's a visual document for engine building. I did all that, and I worked with Paul for various things. Me and Paul have actually raced in Track Day Trophy, Track Day Championship. We did the Donington round a couple of years ago, which we won.
In the 330 Challenge car, was it?
Yes, it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he's he's one of my best mates. So it was it wasn't a given from day one, because it really wasn't. Bark do a great job and they've always done it well. But for me, you imagine if you've done anything, and commercially, if your best mate is running something that will serve your purpose, it just, he's just put a really good package together for us. It just seems the logical thing to do. And you know what? It's a bit like Brexit. If you don't do it, you don't know.
Credit to Bart, they've been spot on, haven't they?
Yeah, there's no issues at all. It's just purely, one of my best mates runs BRSCC, so let's just give that a go for a while. It might not work. I might go back to Bart. We'll see. But until we do it, we won't know.
Liam's also got another question here as well. Obviously, they run the City Car Cup, so is there going to be any tie-in with you guys, or is it going to stay completely separate and neutral?
No, and if anything, it's actually better now. Now we're going to be under one roof. It's going to be a lot more transparent, so it's going to be, quite simple. As if you want to go endurance racing, you go C1. If you want to go City Cup, you go City Cup. Also, we've clarified a lot of things. So you used to be able to run a C1 spec endurance car in City Cup. You can never do it the other way around. So City Cup and C1 have agreed now that the cars are their own spec. So you can't cross-platform the cars. So if you've got an endurance car, it's an endurance car. If you've got a city spec car, it's a city car. So if one of my cars sells, it gets back on my grid. And if one of their cars sells, it gets back on their grid.
Fair enough.
Just to try and stop a bit of market dilution. So they're endurance, they're sprint racing, we're endurance. It's that simple.
We get a fair few drivers sort of doing the crossover.
Yeah, we get a few drivers that want to do both, and that's fine.
Good.
But car-wise, they're in other cars and stuff. But no, there'll be no crossover.
That's good. Fair enough. See, this is what you do. You ask the questions like this, and you get the absolute matter-of-fact answers. I like this.
Yes.
This is why we do it, though, isn't it?
This is exactly why we do it. So the start of this year, you actually start with your blue ribbon event. So you had the Silverstone 24 hours. So how was that on your first day on the job?
Straight in the deep end. Let's have it.
Yeah, as Tom says, in the deep end. Yeah, it was hard. It was challenging but hard. It was rewarding but hard. Sorry, what I found really hard was the build up to it. Actually, running the event wasn't that hard because I've done a lot of that, helped Paul with a lot of compact cup stuff over the years. And I've been in club racing since I was 17 years old. I'm aware of the system. I'm aware of the clerk of the courses, officers, as we all are. Been there enough.
Yep.
But it's the amount of admin to the lead up to a 24-hour is absolutely insane. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for a select few people. A friend of mine, Neil, was a huge part of it. He was sat with myself at a desk for a couple of months leading up to the 24-hour. And our inbox, I've got 3 email addresses for C1, and all of them had 40 or 50 emails a day coming in. A lot of them are silly questions, real silly questions, but they still need answering. So just the sheer admin to get it all done was really hard. But once we got there, it was really exciting.
Mega event, sunshine all the time.
It couldn't have been better. The sun was out from the start.
There we go.
Look at that.
It was great.
Fake shake and bake on pole.
Yeah. And that was really nice, actually, because Fake Shake and Bake, one of our drivers from Rockingham, Matt Maxted, was in the Fake Shake and Bake car. So it's quite nice that he managed to put it on pole. So that's quite nice showing that it's not just Sailor V, but he's quick in anything.
Yeah, their pit stops were drilled.
Yeah,
fully.
So again, because he knew how to do well from Sailor V. Everyone that's seen Sailor V over the years knows it's all about the pits. But yeah, the 24-hour was brilliant. We put on a really good team. I had 15 or more than 15 people there. All in the official clothing, all just there to answer people's questions and just be there, which really went down well. And that's how we've kept it all year, to be fair. I haven't backed the staff off at all. They've really been well overstaffed all year.
Yeah.
So you say with the 24-hour race, we've got a video here that shows the importance of pit stop practice in a C1. Can we just have a look at that, Steph, after he's had his Carlsberg?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
one moment.
Pit stop practice.
Drop stop. I tried to catch him. You didn't really try. Oh, I'm on his helmet.
So it's a really interesting one. I got a comment on that. That shows that clip there doesn't really explain it, but the spirit of club racing with that particular team was immense. That was Oscar Peretti. I knew the Peretti family a little bit from 2CVs and things before. Yeah. Oscar phoned me and said, look, we want to come to the 24 hour. We're not racing, but we want to come along and see what it's all about. And can you get us some tickets? And I said, well, it's funny, actually, because a friend of mine's got a team, but they got no team. They got drivers in the car, but they got no team. Would you mind just spannering for them? It's going to be just the usual thing, chuck some fuel in and just keep them going. What we weren't expecting was they changed 3 engines over racing that car.
Jesus.
So me and Tom regularly walked down, and Oscar and his brother Luca were just on the floor covered in oil. Luca at one point just threw the towel and he's like, I'm sorry, we're done. After the second engine, he's like, we're not doing another engine.
It was about 5 a.m. and I was just like woken up. It was a bacon roll going along and their car's coming back on the truck. And Luca's going, no, guys, we've done 2. That's enough. And about an hour later, I walked past the garage and
they were doing it. And they just wouldn't give up. And it was brilliant because, it was the first time the team had done a 24-hour. So it's just about finishing. It doesn't matter how many laps you've done. It's just about finishing. And the Peretti family, just hats off to them. Absolute club race heroes that weekend.
We enjoy their company for sure.
Superb. We've actually got another promo video as well that shows a bit more about the C1s as well. Who wants to go to a rave after that?
The proper track. When we were chatting about what track to use, I came up with it and we were like, yes, it just has to work. So we'll do that.
That's good.
That was amazing. I forget that we were so fresh out of COVID for that weekend as well.
There's no podium.
Yeah.
There was no podium, and that was literally one of the first races to happen this year. And it was straight out of COVID, and we still had a grid. So it was an amazing event. It was so grateful for everyone that actually.
Nick made the hand gesture there. I think you guys kind of knew what it was like coming out of COVID, winning an event.
We knew exactly what it was like coming out of COVID. We won our first ever fucking race, and then we still never stood on a podium. Yeah, we went in and did that same weekend. Was it the same weekend or the weekend after? We did the Snet 12-hour. We bloody won it. The trophy over there. And we never got to stand on a podium.
Yeah, it's crazy times.
Crazy times.
It was really bizarre, but Go on.
I'm going to say, so you've had obviously the 24 hours at Snetterton, 2 events, Croft, Donny, Pembury. You've got Alton coming up soon. I will just say, as a disclaimer now, we know, and it was completely challenging for you guys, what the events of Snetterton, what happened. Unfortunately, we lost Angie, but from what I understand, you're not on the event that you can comment on anything. There's still stuff going on, so we'll leave it at that and move on from that quite.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough weekend.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It was a horrible thing to have to deal with on our second event, but we dealt with it the best that we could. As you say, it's not something that can be commented on. It's with the MSA and the FIA, but all we can say, and I do want to say, is that there's nothing wrong with the cars. Nothing failed that could be fixed to stop anything happening that happened. So from Club Racers' point of view, the cars are safe.
Okay. Fair enough. And I appreciate you guys even making that comment, because it must have been incredibly difficult. So from that, you moved on to Croft. So Croft, Donington, Pembury, from then on, you've more or less just had 3-hour races. So is that something that kind of suits you guys, or are you looking for a bit more variety going into next year?
The 3-hour, obviously, I've taken on this club, from Carol and the previous team. The 3-hour is kind of the set standard race that works, because an endurance race has got to work financially for the competitor. And the problem is, what people I think forget to realise is, the longer the race is, the more it's going to cost, quite substantially so as well. It's not like a case of it gets cheaper the more minutes you buy. So at 3 hours, it's affordable. It's a long enough race that it's still an endurance race. We have got a few things in the pipeline next year that we are going to mix it up ever so slightly. Based on people wanting to do longer races. The 3 hours is definitely going to be the standard, so you're going to see that through the year. We're going to have Silverstone, 24 hour for sure. And there's going to be a 6 or 7 hour into the night, finishing at midnight at a certain track. So
it definitely looks super cool at night, doesn't it?
Yeah, so at night adds another dimension to it as well. It's brilliant driving at night. So that one's, it's going to be a longer race into the night. So that one we're doing, and there is going to be some space available at Portimao in Portugal for UK C1 next year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So those that can be bothered to get the car there, and we've actually arranged with Portugal transport as well. So all you'll have to do is get your car to Southampton docks, put it in a box, and off it goes.
Funny you should say that. I live like 8 minutes away from Southampton docks, so I can take it there if you want.
Nick,
perfect. We'll drop off down there.
Nick, they can't put you in a fucking container. You need air holes.
Oh. I'll hold my breath.
Let's be honest, right? Let's try and smuggle you through customs. Not just anyone, you.
Have you seen the kind of people that get into the country?
Yeah.
And this guy will get out. This guy will get out.
Nick, you can just jump in the camper with us. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yay!
Just come with.
Yeah, we're just trying to make some variety. Just trying to give the customers something a little bit different.
That's cool.
The normal.
That's wicked.
There we go. So a nice little Portuguese holiday if you fancy it next year. Is there anything else changing technically for next year, or the cars completely staying as they are?
So
there's some power flex.
Yeah, there's one change. So I'm allowing one bush on the car to be changed to a power flex bush.
Yeah.
Which is the front wishbone rear bush. There is going to be a technical regulation addendum about that very soon. Purely because the cars have got extended wishbones on them to gain camber and caster. But because you added so much leverage to the standard wishbone, they jump around under braking a little bit.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, racing the car for as long as I've raced it, and I've driven them now with a Powerflex bush, that's going to stop a fair bit of contact under braking. Because they are slightly unpredictable. So I think this bush, although it's not going to be a mandatory thing at first, but I think most people do it because they drive 10 times better with this bush done.
Yes.
But that's all I'm going to do. Everything else just works, so there's no point fixing it.
Oh, fair play. Patrick Seal, to be honest, I think we'd all club together to help Nick leave. Neil Ashcroft, they would definitely let Nick leave the country. Yeah, I can maybe wrong with that. It could be getting back in, that's the issue. Right. So we go from the organiser to the competitor.
That's a nice shot, Nick.
We go for the next drop shot.
Just showing the love.
That's good.
Yeah.
The man toe. Oh no.
The Arab beard's back.
I'm ready.
Merv Beckett.
I thought you were giving that away.
Yeah, we're still going to give it away, but it doesn't mean I don't have it and admire it.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Holy Bubba. Right,
No.
Merv Beckett,
You
thank
can't
you very much for being patient with us, just while Nick was showing off his fake beard and potentially getting deported from the country. So, Merv, I remember watching you in Stockhatch. So you are no stranger to club racing.
Yeah.
However, this year you've been racing in the production class of the Civic Cup series. How's that been?
Yeah, something different, something new. I mean, I've been in Civic Cup before in an EK and an EP3 a few years ago. Something different, and just thought it went well. Of course, I mean, it's a building class. We're hoping to have, separate grids for the Cup class and the production next year. And it's going really well so far. And, at the moment, sort of pretty much joint level with Alfie in the championship at the moment in the production class. 1 round left to go, 4 races. Actually, at Snetterton at the end of this month, it's going to be quite interesting.
He's going to win it. I'm putting my money down. You're going to win it.
Well, there we go. I mean, I'll be honest, Merv, when I was keeping an eye on you when I came to Brands Hatch to watch some of the action, and that was a superb drive. We've got, I believe, in our video archives there, some onboard that you sent across for us. So we play that. Bloody hell, Merv, that was a hell of a first lap.
Well, with Civic Cup, you get reverse grid in the second race, so it made it such an entertaining race.
That's cool.
Out of the best bit, I mean, Alfie's going to go mad at me for saying it, but literally, Alfie, the one that I overtook at the end of the first lap, is the one I'm fighting with in the championship. And my mate even said that it was a bit like Days of Thunder moment when he says he always goes high. And I purposely cheeked him to say that I was going high, but I chucked it straight in the inside to get him to turn 1. And I mean, it was that perfect moment that I thought, yeah, that's right. But he was a bit angry that I done it after, but I had to do it. And yeah, it was great. But it was all good fun. I mean, the whole lap. You know what it's like with racing. It's all luck, and I just managed to have that car in the perfect place every single time. So it was good.
There we go. So we've got some images coming up there. So you've had a bit of success this year, haven't you, Merv?
Yeah. I mean, I've developed this car over a few years. I was racing in Type R Trophy, and then gone into now Civic Cup or doing the production class. So I've pushed it into that. And yeah, it's just been really well this year. Sadly, I had one DNF at Anglesey, which was a bit of my fault. Sorry, Mark Hughes. I accidentally got a bit cocky and trying to overtake too many cars into one corner and accidentally tapped him, which broke my bottom arm. If it wasn't for that, I'll be leading the championship now. But 4 rounds to go, still 104 points to go in the championship, and I think me and Alfie are pretty much equal. It's going to be a good tight one for Snetterton.
I look forward to seeing that. That's going to be good.
It will be good. I'll take it they're going to have it on the live stream as usual.
Yeah, I think we got a rerun of Donington that we accidentally it was all postponed because of lateness and stuff. So that's on the Saturday. But then the live stream will all be on the Sunday, which is qualifying in the 3 races. So it's going to be it's going to be like who can keep every race. It's just keeping it going basically. I think that it's going to be reliability is going to be the key between me and Alfie for the championship. I think we're about 30 odd points behind Harry, who's 3rd in the championship. So as long as me and Alfie keep going, I think we're quite good for the top step. But it's just which one is it's going to be is going to be tough.
There we go. So the Civic Cup. So you obviously started in Type R Trophy, and then this sort of production class sort of opened up in Civic Cup, and you made the jump across. So what differentiates a Cup class car and a production class car?
Quite a few things. Price is a big thing. So I think what they aim to do with Civic Cup is we do the production class that will be for more amateurs. Like for example, Alfie and his brother Harry have come in because, of course, they've started only just going into motor racing. And then it sort of pushes you to go into the Cup class eventually. So, for example, price-wise, you got like bolting cages rather than the full welding cages, which I do say helps a lot. Definitely if you have a big accident, you can 9 times out of 10 just take the cage out and put it into another shell. And then you got like helical diffs, which are less maintenance than the actual plated diffs, which you do in Civic Cup. And then like spherical bearings, you don't need those. You just use the normal hard race sort of like poly bush. And then it's like all different things like that, which can change your type. Civic Cup production car is probably you can get one built and ready and new for sort of about 12-13 grand. But a Civic Cup car, you're looking more like 20. And it's sort of like just makes it that bit more easier for someone like me who's self-employed to run one.
And that's a big jump in price, isn't it? For effectively the same car, isn't it? There's not a massive difference between the cars. They're the same car, but
at the moment we start at the back of the grid, behind the Cup cars. And to be honest, I've actually had some good battles with some Civic Cup guys that are not quite as experienced and are not quite as quick as the top guys, which actually creates a bit more fun for us, And realistically, most tracks we're probably about 2 seconds a lap slower, which I know it's in hindsight a massive gap, but overall it's still not bad. And like I said, doing sort of high 55s at Brands, is still a real good achievement, and it's great fun. And we, if you can see from the footage, we do have some really good battles, and good fun.
Yeah, I mean it's astonishing. I think the good thing that's helped Civic Cup this year as well is moving away from the ordinary. I think Time Attack as well, that they sort of have more of your performance and modified shows there, so they've got a bit of an audience. You're always going to have a bit of a crowd, so that helps as well, and that brings something to it. Albeit most of the crowd are going to be vaping and driving Subarus and going through a put bang.
Well, it's like Brands Hatch. We had this because it, like you say, the same as everyone else. It's probably this one just only a few weeks ago was probably the first one that COVID was right out the way. We had Brands Hatch a few months ago for another round, but of course, sadly, that was we only had a restriction. But with a car show and everything, I think I can't remember what it was now, but it was like 12,000-13,000 people there.
There was quite a lot of people there. There was a big crowd. You go around the paddock, and even like us racing drivers, I know that we're driving, but we love the crowd, and to see like Paddock Hill Bend absolutely full up
and people cheering and and watching stuff. It was, it's a driver's dream, isn't it? Really, driving
makes you a proper touring car driver, that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've even got a few extra followers on Facebook after that meeting, so they must have been watching me.
Good man.
Exactly. But the big selling point for me as well, I watch all sorts of club racing, like we all do. The big selling point for me, you've got at the top step of it, you've got Jamie Tonks, and I know he's got quite a bit of backing behind him. He's going into TCR. You've got Alistair Camp, that's at the top of Civic Cup class. He's also dominating 750 hot hatch. But from there, you've effectively got a progression from grassroots club racing, that grassroots ladder that we've all looked for. You've mentioned it a few times to me, Nick. Ladder that you can clearly see, you can go from the production class. Let's say you win that and you want something a bit tastier, so you upgrade your car and you go and do the cup class and you dominate that, and then you go and maybe do a bit of TCR or maybe do something on the support package, British GT or touring cars.
Yeah. The best thing is Stuart Lyons, who's running it. He's been brilliant at it because he of course runs TCR as well.
Yeah,
and he's really pulled the package out for all of us lot. And even a big deal that he's done this year, which is amazing for us. The top 3 Civic Cup and the top 3 production cars get a drive in a TCR car at the end of the year. That's
nice.
And realistically, that's in some ways that's nearly a £2,000. You would pay nearly £2,000 to get a test drive in a TCR. They're 30, 40 odd grand cars, and how I'm hoping that I go for the championship, and me and Alfie and stuff like that. If we do well this weekend, couple of weekends away in Snetterton, we've got a chance, in the driving that I do, to go and sit in a TCR car and go and race around in that for, for a few laps or whatever it is. But, that's like a dream come true. The TCR car is the same as a touring car. I don't know if you've seen any of these TCRs. They're literally, a couple of the TCRs are literally old touring cars. The old Astras and that, they run literally the same. So to be part of that is, it's cool. And I think Stuart Lyons has really pushed that even like Alistair Camp and stuff like that, who's actually in the Civic Cup this year, he'll probably push up to the TCRs next year. Winfield, he's in the TCRs this year.
Well, Liam Brown, yes, Bruce Winfield, he's now in an area motorsport.
He was in a Civic Cup car last year. It's a hell of a push, and truly honest, I've done a lot. I've done years and years of racing. I've done classic stock hatch into Civics, into Type R. I've done all different kind of races, and this is probably the closest that you can get into pushing into something more. Sadly for me, I think my budget would never be able to get to TCR, but to certain people that are pushing up in the rankings, definitely Civic Cup is something to go into that you'll push up higher in the future.
Yeah. Sam Pearce made a good point.
Sorry. No, go
on. Just Sam was saying on your record, there were a couple of old touring cars on the grid as well. So there is a bit of a progression there.
Yeah, it's certainly a big push. And watching them as well, I think the way Stuart's pushing this, I think realistically there's going to be 25, maybe even 30 cars on the grid in the TCRs next year that you would pay to watch that anytime. It'd be just as good. The racing even at Donington for their last round of the TCR was really good, and they would certainly bring a big crowd in the near future.
Yeah,
good point. Sorry, Nick, what were you going to say, mate?
No, I was just going to say, obviously, you saying about the racing you've done in the past and things like that, and then you mentioned obviously budget. For someone like yourself that won't have, you're being realistic about it. You won't have the budget to go into TCR. The fact that you then get the opportunity to even just test the TCR car, that's mega for someone like at our level.
Yeah, it's
as much as the pipe dream would be to be the next touring car driver. It's just not realistic for some of us.
No,
most of us.
Straight away, when I do get, and hopefully, if nothing goes wrong at Snetterton, I do get in that top 3. that I'll be having to go in TCR, and I'll be plastering it all over Facebook because it'd be my dream, you know.
Fantastic.
You know, it's just going to be that one day that I'll get a go, and it'd be amazing. And I'm sure Stuart will end up sorting something out again for the year after. And you know, that's something that I'm looking forward to, and I've wanted to push hard this year to get a drive. And I just watching videos and watching YouTube clips, I would just like to have a go.
Now this is a good bit of sportsmanship here. So this is your man that you're fighting with for the championship. Looking forward to the battle at Snetterton, Merv. So there we go.
Yeah, no, I mean, Alfie, we've been battling all year, and you know, it's good that he's written that. You know, we're gonna have a great battle, and we're good friends, and it's just a good laugh. You know, we've had our little tussles and our little bangs and our little twangs all year, but you know, to have him battling with him, it'd be really good. And I just hope that we both don't have any issues and we can just race at Snetterton. That's the main thing.
That'd be good.
Super. I love the fact you're saying that, Merv, because even with everything that's at stake and the intense battle of, I know it's club racing, but it can get pretty intense. You know, there's been title fights that have gone absolutely awry in the part. It's good to see some genuine good sort of rivalry.
Going back to the C1 boys saying earlier on, you know, club racers, we're all mates in the paddock, really, aren't they? I think 98% of the people that we hang around with in the paddock.
Yeah.
Yes, we're fighting door to door when we're on the track, but you get out at the end of it and you're all patting your backs and all having a whale of a time and a good laugh for you know, guys, you just had the best. It doesn't matter if you're racing for 14th place or whatever, you're still patting each other on the back saying that was the best fun I've ever had.
Unless you're having a race. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. I've had some of the best races of my life fighting for 13th place. You know, it's just, it doesn't matter. You don't necessarily have to win a trophy every time, but the fact that you guys have got the opportunity to, you know, win the production class, it's going to be good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
With winning the production class, do you get anything out of the way of getting you to promote to the Cup class? Is there anything to sort of push you towards taking that next step, or is it just left up to you?
I think that if you win it, it's kind of like it's your next step. But of course, you know, I think sadly, you know, for certain people, you know, self-employed, don't have anyone. I have to just work flat out. But it's hard to. You know, of course, I'd love to go into Civic Cup or even TCR would be absolutely my dream. You know, and maybe, you know, this year's gone so well that, you know, sponsorship and stuff like that would help. But you know, just sadly, I mean, but to be honest, you know, the great laughs I've had, you know, for me, you know, even to be where I am now and in the production class, I find it brilliant. And, you know, I've had great races with Alfie. You know, I don't know what Alfie or Harry or anyone else, you know, Matt, you know, there's so many people in this championship that, you know, I've enjoyed with what they're going to do next year. You know, and even if it's fighting for the championship again next year, you know, I do find it so hard, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing next year yet. But, you know, it is so enjoyable. And, you know, this is the thing with racing. It's such a buzz that you get when you're racing that you just want to, you know,
do more of it.
Yeah, you can't help it, can you?
Now, Neil Ashcroft, he makes a good point here, but I am going to come back with him with something here, because I mean, he says, how do you manage the frustration of testing a TCR but can't follow it up with a drive? Now, if Scarlett Johansson said, you can make out with me for 2 minutes, but we're not going to bed together, would you then turn around and go, nah, I'm all right, thanks, not unless we go all the way?
Well, that would be more than enough for me.
Well, that's the thing. You know, I know truly.
Either way, you're still going to end up with wet trousers.
Yeah, I mean, if I won the lottery, I would, you know, I'd go straight into British touring cars. That'd be me. But with TCR, even, you know, it's such a big step. You know, it's huge. You know,
you do better than Andy Neat.
Even if you hired a TCR car, it's way over my budget. But
yeah,
if you know, just for me to feel that I've gone in one and enjoyed one, and you know, we still haven't decided exactly what track it would be that we'll be doing a test in. but it still just gives you that hype of actually being in a car that I probably realistically will never afford unless something, amazing happened and suddenly someone decided to give me £1 million sponsorship. Then I'll be all right. But apart from that, there's not much chance.
Patrick Stills commented on my analogy. It's just like going to a stripper's. You can look, but you can't touch. Michael Saunders makes a good point. The least enjoyable racing I've ever done is when decent sponsorship is involved. The stress levels and expectations are intense.
That's a fair point.
And Sam Pearce has just sent me an absolute paragraph, but once again, he makes an absolutely outstanding point. The racing in Civic Cup is what has attracted me to the series. It's close, clean racing. Race 3 at Brands was exactly why I went to the series. The paddock is great. The first round was at Brands and plenty of people were welcoming, friendly, chatty, proper club stuff, helping each other get back out with spares, etc., etc. The added bonus of progression into something like TCR or even a test is fantastic for any club racer on a budget. Mm-hmm. Neil Ashcroft follows up saying it's a good point about sponsor pressure.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Marv says about moving up. You were saying if he's going to move up to the Civic Cup class if he wins production. Yeah. I personally don't see the point in that because all you're going to do, especially if it's going to be a bigger grid, a decent grid in production, all you're going to do in Civic Cup is spend more money. Club racing is club racing. If you're having a good race in a production class, you're going to have the same level of good racing. You're just going to spend more money. So do the production class, do it well. Do pick your budget and do that really well, rather than saying, okay, I'm going to try and do this, but I can't really afford to, and just do it badly. Yeah. Just do what you do it well, and enjoy. You've got a good grid and you're racing. Why do you need to do that next step?
Yeah,
it's a good grid. Win it, defend it again. I don't think you should win a championship 3 times in a row. I think you should win it and defend it and then move on to something else. It doesn't mean you necessarily just got to spend more money. There's loads of other club racing stuff you can do at that budget.
But the thing is with the Civics as well, like, see how this year goes. Got 2 more, one more race weekend to go. But next year, hope, I'm aiming to go for the championship. And but then next year, this EP3 as well that I've got, it can go into so many different classes. It's unbelievable. Like Dave Allen Trophy, it can go into Hot Hatch, it can go into there's so many different classes at this EP3 that is, and if it's wet, I mean, the EP3 is amazing. It's a nice rain sport tyres on it. I tell you, it absolutely flies. You mean me, John, Mark, Hughes, the 6-hour relay race at Burkett a few years ago, we ended up winning our class. And we qualified something like 43rd on the grid. But because it rained through the Burkett, we ended up winning the class. And I'll tell you, it was like, that was literally like hype. We were loving it, winning it, getting trophies. And we were over the moon. And it isn't just about expense and money. It is sometimes it is just the enjoyment. And like I said, these EP3s certainly going a lot. And like I said earlier, Nick needs to get him one.
Well, to be honest, we all know Nick absolutely loves a Civic.
Yeah.
He loves a Ford. He loves a C1. He loves basically anyone that offers him a free drive. Nick absolutely loves.
Look, I wouldn't have set this club up if I didn't like race cars. That'd be a bit daft, wouldn't it?
Yes, very, very true.
You've got to go one. You've got to go. I mean, you eventually, even Nick. I mean, even if I'll even get you to get in mine and get into a test day or something. You just got to have a go in one. Honestly.
You do realise we record this, Merv, so I've got that on tape now.
I'm not joking. If you don't get in one, I'll get you get a track day or something. We'll get you in one. We'll get you in mine. Some point
like I say, my only frustration with the EP3, and it's already been said, is it is so versatile. It's out the box, bloody fast.
Didn't we cover an episode on this?
Yes, we did. Yes, there is an episode.
It's not fast down a straight. It is. They handle so well.
It's faster than a fucking Vauxhall Vectra.
Yeah. Well, that's
and a Focus and a Mini. It's
bloody fast.
And when you say that, we go back to the Track Day Trophy Championship round at Snetterton. Steph, who won overall? And what car was he driving?
Justin in a Civic.
Exactly.
But there's so much you can do with them. There is so much you can do with them. You know, mine's standard. You know, the production class, which I love, is, you know, I mean, they're running literally standard engines with an induction kit and exhaust system.
Yeah,
that is it.
Okay, and how much brake horse are they pushing out?
My one on the rolling roads is 220 brake horsepower.
And there you go.
That is
I've got to spend many £1,000s to get that out of my engine.
I mean, that's even standard with the production class. They're standard ECUs.
Yeah,
standard
exactly.
ECUs, and they're running 220 brake horsepower.
This is why they're so popular, because they're just out the box good.
Yeah, I mean, Honda engines are amazing. You haven't even got no point even the bottom ends. No point even building them, because literally they are built so well from factory. As soon as you start putting bottom ends and bearings and whatever in them, they won't last 5 minutes. I mean, my engine was a road engine that done 97,000 miles, and that was 3 seasons ago. And I haven't, you mean, touch wood to hit last Snetterton. The last 3 years, I've run the same engine.
Yeah.
You know, and they keep oil changes, oil filter changes. That's it. They're good.
Can we just put a disclaimer here? If anything happens to your engine at Snetterton now, we are not to be blamed for this.
Sam's got a point. You've said it now, Merv.
But yeah, I mean, that's what they are. They're good. They're good runners, and you know what I mean. And like you say, you just put even like my flywheel. It's just a standard FN2 flywheel, which you're allowed to put in them, and that's it. You know, you don't go and buy all these cheap, like 1 kilogram flywheels, because it just does the engines in. It's all Honda built such a good car that you just pretty much just tweak it, and it's fine. You know, it's good. It's what it is. And, you know, I mean, they're just so powerful, and it's not the actual grunt. I mean, the torque is useless on a Honda engine, but the speed you can go through corners just literally makes them. You know, I mean, I've done track days, and I've had 400 brake horsepower courses, thinking they're all it, and I go past them, and they're coming up to me going, "Cool, what you got in there?" And I tell them 220 horsepower, and they walk away before I even spoke to them. Because they're like, what on earth's going on? And I'm just having a bit of fun with them, you know. And it's not, people don't realise it's not just the speed down the straights. You know, Castle Combe, I was doing 118s or something around Castle Combe. And most kids in these, like I said, 400-500 brake horsepower cars in a track day think that they're all good, and then they realise I've only got 220 brake horsepower, and then they suddenly walk away. It's just the way that, you know, these cars are built, and the way they handle.
You say that, and I'm sure you boys in the C1 corner can agree with us. If you're ever doing a track day in a C1,
I was about to say this.
We have it in a KA. The amount of dickheads you piss off on a track day in his matey boy in his M3, like blasts it down the straight, but then you get into the corners and they're like, I can't drive. And you just drive around the outside of them in a KA going, bye, knobber.
The Brands track day, me and Tom were at the Mini at a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I got 2 black flags on that day for overtaking and stuff, and it's like, I'm in a C1. I shouldn't be overtaking any of these cars here ever. They're doing something wrong, not me. You know.
Yeah.
So most track days, you know, in these EP3s, you know, I've done Donington with John, Peerless. I've done all different races, you know, and like Donington, I go past Porsche 911s. You know, and I'm going past M3 BMWs, and they're like, you know, they all come into the pits after, and like, cool, what you got in there? Turbo? No, it's just a, you know, 220 brake horsepower standard engine with standard ECU.
that's because all BMW drivers are knobs, especially ones that drive bright orange ones.
I should say good evening to Patrick Seal. If he's probably no longer watching now. Nick said
evening,
that.
Patrick.
Evening, Patrick. For the record, I am a BMW driver, so Don't take that to heart, anyone.
And have you seen my orange track day car?
Yes, I have.
I was going to say, is that a dig at me or what?
No. This is Patrick Seal, the Red Seal Racing bright orange M3 Tango.
Okay, I have a bright orange E36 M3 track day car.
Nice.
Well, say, one of my highlights.
Got a shovel?
Not really. I'm all right getting out of holes.
No, I say, like, one of my highlights, even in racing, even in my EP3, was at the Burkett one year that when it was raining, I was even going past around the outside of Beckett's around a GT40, and it just shows that, you know, the grip levels definitely these EP3s have in the wet. But, you know, I know it was wet and it probably pissed past me basically in the dry. But, you know, the fun that you can have in these, you know, in even any kind of conditions or whatever, it is great fun. And that's why I think that you need to definitely get yourself in one. I think once you've gone in one, you won't go back.
The gauntlet has been thrown down, I think, Nicholas.
I'm going to say this now. I'm all up for giving them a go, but they still look crap.
No!
That's why we're putting the engine in the Clio.
That's what I mean. They don't look great. The cup cars look pretty cool with a big wooden splitter under them. But
Neil Ashcroft says, "When foot in mouth, stop talking, Nick."
Come on, Rob. Look, you got to show my picture of my car. It does look nice. Come on.
It does.
I've
got quite a good.
Look, come on. It does look hot. Come on.
There's a line of them there.
Oh, it's in front of them all, just in front, yeah.
To be honest, I can smell a lot of boiled rice in this photo.
It does look lovely. Come on, there's not much. It's a lovely looking car.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you buy one of those cars, that's what happens. You get trophies.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Although I have to come back to this C1 photo as well, right? Because can you remember
that's a better looking race car?
Can you remember when Michael Jackson was on stage and he stopped his feet and he went like that and he had all the dancers around him did the same thing? That's what the C1s are doing in this photo. It's like, whoa. It's the first thing I thought of. Exactly.
Well, there's a lot of things that bloke did behind the scenes. You don't want to talk about them.
Very, very, very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Have you seen the documentary? Anyway, there's one picture I missed. Robin and Tom, there's one picture I missed. So explain this.
No way.
Yeah, basically, I'm sponsored by Vans, and they just thought it'd be cool because we're so big time. They thought, hey, just give me some Vans.
Nice.
Nah, I just ordered them.
Sent them in the logo and ordered them.
I like it.
But you have got a good sponsorship with Silver Lake, though, haven't you?
I was actually going to say that.
We're
talking about the move to BRCC, which is obviously, it's really exciting for next year. But one of the big deals for this year was Silver Lake coming on board, and I think it's one of the most natural fits for any type of club racing, really, because they're a local company, which is great for us, and they're a salvage yard, and they take more C1s in every week than they probably take in any other vehicle, so they got an absolute abundance of spare everything. And they give the drivers really good discount and all the rest of it, and they've just been a perfect fit all year. It's really good.
Alan Preville's got a massive lorry with a massive beer fridge.
Yeah, he has got a huge. They turn up with a massive Arctic every meeting with two C1s in it. Get that out, and then just get the beer sorted out, and
the rest of it's just beer.
Yeah.
There we go. So if you want to,
I think we need to go to a C1 meeting.
Yeah, so
100%.
If you do want to beat that paddock, I would turn up with a fucking great Arctic and two beer fridges. Right, let's go to the comments. Becky Roberts, do you have to pull back a C1 to make them go?
That's missing.
That's amazing. That's literally the best question.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick,
not
that
as, not
comment
as much
deserves
as you do, okay.
That comment deserves a sticker.
That does. That does. Sam Pearce. Now I like this. Nick's getting his ass handed to him now. Sam Pearce. Anyone who owns a Vectra cannot comment on the way a car looks.
Hello. When we talk about racing, what is the golden era of racing? Oh, super touring. Oh, yeah, the Vauxhall Vectra was a super tourer.
Vectra did fucking well, didn't it? Only won 2 races with John Cleland at the wheel.
Give a fuck. It still looked cool as shit.
I did own Vauxhall Vectras as road cars before.
They're shit cars. They're fucking awful.
I had GSIs. They were good fun.
No, they weren't. The V6 Vectra is a dog shit car.
Merv, I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
I have to ask this question, Merv. Now, you raced a Nova, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Did you roll it?
No.
I
managed to lift it up with 4 wheels off the ground at Donington on the old curbs, but I never managed to roll it.
Okay, next question. Did you do skids in McDonald's car park using the plastic trays?
I won't answer that one.
Yeah.
Justin Roberts has come in. He was considering Nick having a go in his EP3, but Nick's fucked that up now. James Poulton, best comment ever, replying to Becky Roberts there. I think that is the winner. That is the winning comment there. I mean, that's not
the comment on your car, but it's brilliant.
It's not a comment on my car, but it's brilliant. I think the comments dried up there, so possibly the stickers
go now. Then,
as did your coolant system.
Yes, it did. It did.
To be fair,
we must have the banner, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Come and have a go in the C1 if you want to.
I would actually like to have a go in a C1.
Should. Plenty of them out there. Come and have a go.
In a 24-hour race, just because it'd be a good laugh and close.
Yeah, see.
It's when you've only done normal club racing. For me, the first time I did a 3-hour stint at night was crazy because you think you're going for it and you're really concentrating and you're just giving everything you got. And you look up at the timer and you've done 20 minutes and you think, wow, this is a 3-hour stint I've got to do here. And you just learn. You just have to sit back and relax and just find your way. It's a very different mindset.
Well, that's the fun as well. Because one thing I'd love to do is a night race at Brand. I'd love the feeling
of us at Brands at the end of the year. We're doing into the night, the last race of the year. It looks like Nick and Stefan are probably going to be in the car the way things are going. So come along.
It is, it does sound fun.
Hey, we got our first podium in a night race at Brands Hatch. So if you put us in a car, boys, we're going to get a trophy for you.
Nick, we might have to book some holiday.
Remember, we record this, so you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, no worries. So, because don't you worry. If he says that.
This is the trophy. I'm using it to prop my phone up, I should just say.
James Beckett says hello as well. I think is that a relative of yours, Merv?
That's my son. He's only like 11. They're all watching.
Hello, James.
Stop swearing.
It's past your bedtime.
If he writes anything, just completely ignore it. Because I don't know what he'd be writing.
Fair enough. Right, guys, I think looking at the time, bloody hell, it's 20 to 10 already. We're going to move on to the competitions because there's quite a lot to cover.
There you go.
Becky Roberts has just come up with the best comment. He's 10, Merv.
Well, nearly 11.
Next up is 11.
I know exactly what's going to be going in the news segment on the next show, and sadly, we're unhappy to report that Merv has.
He lost the production cast because no one's seen him.
Yeah, he's been lynched. Right, we're very pleased to announce the Club Racing UK Awards.
We need to get some cheesy fanfare music on it, don't we?
Yeah, something like
that. We didn't really get that bit. done in plenty of time, didn't we?
Well, Save of the Year has been brought in, sponsored by Term 7.
Well, there is 8 awards we're going to do this year.
There is.
This is the first one.
This is the first one. So this is Save of the Year, sponsored by Callum McDougall and the Turn 7 team. So, yes,
100%.
get your clips in from this year of your best saves. Forward them to Steph and Nick, and they'll look through them and
go on the paddock. Go on the Facebook paddock group. At the top is the pins. All the awards are pinned. Comment your video of your save of the year, and that'd be your entry. And then look at the other ones that we're about to say and pick your entries for them as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All at the top of the paddock, pinned at the top of the paddock. Facebook.
I just want to point out to everyone as well, right? If you see like an entry that you think is the one, just vote for it. Don't add it again. Just get the likes and the shares and stuff like that. And we'll probably just bunch it all together at the end of this month, so it's nice and clean. And we'll have a poll at the end of it, just with the top 5 or however many entries for each one. Because obviously we've got, the 8th award is the Unsung Heroes of the Year award. Obviously, I think we know already who's won that one, but obviously no, we're making it fair. Don't spoil it.
I think every man and his dog has commented saying it's going to be the Marshalls.
Yeah, you never know. Let's not give too much away quite yet.
I thought maybe it'd be Nick for lending his gazebo out and it getting trashed.
Well, to be fair, I still hold the fact.
So we can't go on that.
Let's just say though, Steph, do you think you would have got second place if it wasn't for my gazebo?
Not unsure.
So technically, that trophy that's in your room right now is mine.
How is it yours?
Well,
you didn't poorly shut down the gazebo, did you?
Okay,
no, but Nick, I did give you my gazebo.
Nick, I was racing separately, but you can't even claim that. You weren't at the event.
My gazebo was.
I know, your gazebo was integral to the race at one fucking point.
Need safety car lights on it.
Yeah, exactly. It became the safety gazebo. However, I digress. Yes. We've been going through the awards. I've mentioned one, which is Save of the Year. We've also got the best looking grid of 2021. That's cars.
Slow down.
I've winner, another fucking award.
The winner of the Save of the Year award will win some Nomex underwear again.
Yeah.
Gonna put that out there.
Because of the brown trouser moment, you're going to need a new pair, aren't you? So.
Yes. Yeah. So the winner of Save of the Year, as sponsored by Turn 7, will win some fireproof underpants.
There we go. Sam Pierce, I have on board of Merv's huge moment in paddock from qualifying. Can he nominate Merv?
Of course
he wants to. Get it in there. Get it in there.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Was it this year, though? It has to be this year.
It was at Brands. It was at Brands. Michael Saunders. Every corner in the Escort seems to be the same. To be honest, Michael, every time you are out in that Escort, it is spectacular. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I should just point out as well.
I need that footage. I mean, it was good on board, but if he's got any footage of that, that'd be good to see.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Send it over, Sam.
I just want to say as well, with the Save of the Year award, we need to see onboard footage. A picture's great of a car going sideways, but there is no guarantee that you then didn't stack it. So it has to be a legitimate save.
Oh, my one ended up sideways and kind of stationary, but I still kept the thing running. Does that count?
No, that's not a save.
It was a hell of a save. I mean, you've got to see the footage. It was. I do remember it in qualifying. It was. Because I had that big off. I don't know if you remember seeing the photos a few years ago. I had a massive off at Paddock event, and it did remind me of it. And I just knew in my head that I had to literally keep my foot on it flat out. Otherwise, I'm going to do the same again. And it was a full sideways moment all the way down. Got it almost to the bottom, and then it kind of switched the other way, and I spun it. But the actual save I would count that as the best save. Yeah.
Well, we will put it to our members, and they can vote.
There we go. Right. Other awards include the Best Looking Grid 2021. I assume that's going to be sponsored by a plastic surgeon. Best Team of 2021. The Best Driver of 2021, and that excludes Nick. Best Looking Car of 2021.
Oh, thanks everyone.
No worries. Best Series / Championship.
No EP friends.
Most Spectacular Crash. Okay, and the Marshall's Award for Unsung Heroes. I'm sorry, the Unsung Heroes Award.
Yes, the Unsung Heroes Award.
Yes, that's probably going to be the Marshalls.
So get your entries in, people.
Yeah, I will just put a shout. So we're only going to accept the entries from on the paddock page. We've pinned all the awards at the top, so whichever one you want to put an entry in for, you'll find it there. I also want to point out, if anyone would like to sponsor any of these awards, prizes, etc., for added exposure, get in touch. What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hang on.
But yeah, if anyone would like to contribute towards our awards, obviously we're going to be doing it throughout the rest of the year. It'll be really good to give back to all our members and everybody else who's getting involved with it. So yeah, if you'd like to get involved, give us a shout and we can sort you out somehow.
I'll sponsor the best grid if I can win it.
Go on then.
So we got probably the biggest grid of the year.
There'll be no influence. It will be fair and it'll be open to the members.
There's no brown envelopes around here.
No brown envelopes around here. Hang on. Let's not be fucking hasty about this. I haven't given my address out yet. All brown envelopes shall be accepted at number... Anyway, I digress. Right, so that's the Club Racing UK Awards. Get yourself over to the paddock pages and vote at the top. They are pinned posts, aren't they, gentlemen?
Yes.
Right, next on the agenda. Sorry, I'm moving it along because we have been very long on this podcast, as usual. Autosports.
Yes.
You should know about it. Before some Chinese guy ate a bat and everyone got ill, there used to be a show at the NEC called Autosports. Everyone turned up, looked at race cars. Club Racing UK had a stand there a few years ago. My grandma's cakes were there. It was really fucking good.
It was a really good fucking weekend.
Turns out Nick and Steph have been organising a stand.
Yes, we're going to be back.
We are organising.
We are still in the process of organising.
Yep.
We have a mega opportunity this year. We obviously made an impression from last year or last time. But we have got the opportunity to be parked right next to the BTCC stand for next year's show. Now, if anyone's ever been to Autosport, you should know that the F1 paddock and the BTCC stand are probably the two most popular stands there. You get roughly about 150,000 people there across the 4 days, if not more. And most of them will go that way towards one of those stands. And little old Club Racing are going to be parked right next to one of them. So if you want to get your championship, your club, your car, if you're selling Arrive and Drives, you know, you've got a business there and you want to show some bits off on a car, we've got a space for 6 cars. For you won't beat the price we've got on offer. You just can't. Simple as that. If you can find a better deal, send it to me because I guarantee it's rubbish. I'm a good salesman, right?
Brilliant. You're the best.
Just come and put a car on our stand and you won't regret it. It'd be brilliant.
I'll put mine on the stand, you know, no problem.
Yeah, you're going to pay for it though, Mo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, guys.
You didn't say that. You just said put it on the stand. Yeah.
Let's just say we've probably had enough people get in contact to fill the space about 800 times. But then you mentioned the money, and unfortunately, it is a ludicrous amount.
We would love to be able to just buy the space and
I'd love
invite
to.
everyone that would.
Yeah,
I've been to Autosport plenty of times. It is an amazing opportunity, and you know me. I've even spoken to you, Nick. You know, it is. I would love to. I would absolutely love to. But I mean, to be where you say you are, you know what I mean, and the amount of people that is for people that are running championships, it is a great opportunity. And someone, you know, people, I'm sure that you will get those people and you'll get those spaces.
I mean, I think we sealed our third space today, so we've actually only got about half the stand left. So if you are on the fence, don't be. Give us a shout.
He's a salesman, isn't he?
He's a salesman. But unfortunately, we're fixing on time. We're saying the auto sports in January, but we don't have that long whatsoever. We're talking. We need to sort of wrap this up pretty quick because.
But I mean, if you've got a space at the end of it and you can't fill it, then you know this Civic's, you know, easily done.
Come find me page when you go, Merv.
Yeah, we don't care how you put the money down. Just, I mean, if you have to sell your body, I don't care.
Well, great. Well, Mrs. is watching, so yeah, be a bit kind.
Well, I didn't say who you had to sell it to. You could sell it to her a couple of times. Make her pay for the privilege.
But no, honestly, it is a great opportunity.
Yeah,
anyone who wants to put that in, it'd be a great opportunity.
I mean, the stand in 2020, obviously, before we heard of the word COVID, was mega. It was a cracking weekend. We met and saw so many different people. We announced our ambassadors there. Unfortunately, I still have the sound of a F1 simulator in my head. For anyone who was there with us last time, you'll know what I'm on about.
That was incredibly annoying. I used to love Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
But it is a cracking show. So if you're looking to spread the joy of your business, your championship, your arrive and drives, get in touch. We can sort you out a good platform to promote it on.
Cool. Right, and the next thing, of course, 2022 is coming around the corner. And what do you need to measure how many days and how many months have gone in 2022? You need a calendar, don't you? Well,
yes, you do.
Take it away, guys. There's a calendar coming out, right?
No,
and it's got Club Racing on it.
So in October. Is it October? I don't know what.
It's not a nudist one, is it, with you boys?
It's not a nudist one, no.
No, that's separate. That's separate. So if you go to if you go to the Club Racing OnlyFans account for that,
Rob.
Yeah, there's the pixelated Japanese. Yeah, there's the pixelated Japanese version, and then there's full nude, which is an extra £5. Anyway, carry on, Steph.
Anyway, the start of the month we do our profile picture competition. Obviously, as it is the calendar organising month, slightly different. Top 12 photos make it onto the calendar, which will be going for sale soon. We're just getting all the photos sent off and all organised. But the calendar will be up for sale soon. But it is live on the website now if you want to pre-order it.
It's on pre-sale.
Just head to the website, head to the shop, and you can pre-order the 22 ClubRacingUK calendar.
Mm-hmm. And for the record, for everybody who complained last year about how it didn't have boxes to write stuff in, this year it will have boxes. Okay? We listened. We listened to our fans, and they want boxes. You'll get boxes.
What did they say?
We want boxes. We can't write anything on your stupid calendar.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Okay. Moving on from there. So remember the eventual winners of the Unsung Hero Awards. You can honour them by buying the Club Racing UK #Orange Army shirt and the Club Racing UK #Orange Army sticker. I want to fucking roll tonight, aren't I, Nicholas? Steph, are you thirsty?
We're thirsty.
Yeah, because you can buy a bottle if you are.
You can, yeah. Yep. One of them. Looks like that in real life.
I love the fact that we've got past an hour and a half and all of us are fucking bored now.
Oh, no.
Well, we're not running anything with them at the minute, so if you want the Club Racing UK bottle, go ahead, go and buy one.
To be fair, did you let the winners know who won the bottles from last podcast?
I thought you wrote them down.
No.
Oh.
So, Nicola, I'll tell you what, this is an efficient run show from those two, isn't it? One of you is going to have to listen back to the podcast from last time and find out who the winners are. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if they watch the show, which you should have done,
they'd know.
They know you won. Contact us, and then we'll send you the details.
Okay.
If not, we'll do the artwork.
Okay, Dawn Boyd, put the B42's Motorsport on your stand. With any luck, we'll have a sponsor to pay it. We have plans, and we'll still be supporting the Marshalls.
Dawn, give us a shout, and we'll be. Let's talk that one through tomorrow.
Sam Pierce says shambles. Yeah.
Sam Pierce, you're a shambles. Shut up.
It's not a shambles. It's called entertainment.
Entertainment, or you both forgot to notify your winners.
Oi, you lot didn't watch Top Gear because it was efficiently run, did you? Top Gear's funny. We're funny. Simple.
What else we got, Rob? What's next?
What's next? Racing Mentor, the Sponsorship Success Academy.
Oh yeah. Sign yourself up for that. It might be a link in the bio. I'm not sure it is actually. But if not, as many posts about it we have.
It's going well, isn't it, Steph?
It's going well. But anyhow, Google that. If not, and you'll find it.
Jesus Christ, Steph. Okay, basically, guys. Racing Mentor, just Shanahan's.
Well, I'll get a post up shortly if anyone that's interested. But we have got previous posts of it.
What we should say, right, is a simple thing here is Merv. You need to get involved with this because that will get you sitting in a TCR car every weekend.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be straight on there.
Okay.
They'll teach you all the skills of how to improve your sponsorship strategy and to gain more sponsorship figures. It took, I can't remember his name, Toby Price.
Technically, Nick,
figure deal straight after the course, pretty much. So it does work. You've just got to put in the effort to do it. It's a 90-day course. The basic one is still live. The other two you can sign up for, the Plus and the Premium package, and you'll be notified as soon as it goes live again. Those ones are run in series of 90 days, so it has to run out for the next one to open.
Oscar. Sorry, Stefan. Oscar, I love you. That is
a comment.
If you have to explain that you're funny, Nick, I've got news.
I don't have to explain. You're damn funny.
Oh God. Well, yes.
I don't know. I think we got there. Then you broke my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry. That comment.
Anyhow, if you want to improve your sponsorship, join the Sponsorship Success Academy. There'll be a post up soon.
Jesus, you guys are on a roll tonight. Right.
Oh, look. What did we say before we come on? 2-hour live shows are fucking annoying and they're boring and no one's going to be here still at 2 hours long.
There's still a few people watching, Nick.
The poor guys below us are like, I'm so fucking bored. I'm never coming back on this show again.
Still tuned in waiting for the jokes to start.
Yeah. Watching Oscar drag Declan Russell out of a C1's been more funny than Nick tonight.
Was Luca.
Oh, was it Luca?
I don't like. Oh, now who's organised?
Right. Okay, guys. With 2 hours on the clock.
Oh, gee, yeah.
I think it's about time that we wrap things up. So thank you very much, Merv Beckett, for coming on. Thank you very much, Robin and Tom of the C1 Racing Club, for coming on once again. Thank you very much, Nick Holmes and Stefan Marsh. Hopefully, the beer's grown a bit longer by the time we come back on in 2 weeks' time.
Well, if it's 2 weeks, you got to give me a shout because, of course, that'll be our just after the championships finish. So hopefully, we'll see how it goes. So I'll get on no matter what. I'll write a message and see how I got on with the championship. I'm sure you'll end up seeing some kind of live footage and
send us some photos, man.
Yeah, I'll send you some photos and hopefully see how it goes. But,
engine conrods all over the start-finish straight.
I could have put myself in that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
But,
we would have had our October race at Old Parkland as well. So.
Excellent.
I'm just hoping that if it all finishes all well and the car finishes right, that it's fight to the end. So that's the main thing.
Yeah. Good luck, Merv.
Good luck, Merv. Thank you, guys.
Love from the Shine Automotive.
Yeah, a bit of love from Shine Automotive. Sam Pierce, we've not even mentioned Rags to Riches yet. Yeah, that's just... Very important. Andrew Smith is still watching. Neil Ashcroft, all of us are still watching. Unsung Heroes. But for now, that is the end of episode 7.
Everyone who's still watching,
love you all.
Love you.
I have been Robert Lewis. It's been Nick Holmes, Stefan Marsh, the C1 Racing Club, and Merv Beckett. Good night. God bless.
See you later, team.
Boss so much.